Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding, and now we're starting a new show. All right, New York City High School Basketball Weekly with my guy, Coach Reinhardt. So we about to get into it, and it's going down right about now.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. East Coast, go hard. West Coast, go hard. Midwest, go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody, get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, Coach?
My man, what's going on, Pooh? God, that intro hits harder every time I hear it.
Man, listen, great to have you back. And, we want to let the world know what we're doing right now because we came together to give New York City high school basketball some more exposure, right?
Absolutely.
Remember the days when Mike Quick used to do it, on MSG, that weekly wrap up. But now it's up to us, man, to give that impact on the high school basketball scene. So I want to start off with you and what you've been able to see, with the things that you've been hearing about on the high school scene. And it's just starting, right? The high school season is just beginning. So what are some of the things you've been hearing about? And then we can get into more of the individual games.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The season is back. Guys are stepping up. Especially in New York City, you're seeing a lot of the fallout of what we talked about over the summer with all these transfers and guys moving around, and you're kind of seeing, what's kind of left and who's kind of stepping up in New York City, which is really good to see. And there's a lot of bright spots. And on Long Island, I've been in some tournaments already, which we'll get more into. But Pooh, I'm just excited, man. I'm so excited to be back, and just to be back here in the ball bounce in the gym. It's where we're supposed to be, right?
Oh man, beautiful, man, beautiful. Listen, I started off the season going out to Transit Tech, their opener, and it was exciting. Got to see Ashton Reynolds break his
must-see TV, right?
That's right, must-see TV, 1,000th point, and he got his 1,000th point on a dunk. It was so amazing.
Of course,
you just had to be there.
It's like hitting a home run for your 3,000th hit, man. It's
there.
Special.
You go. That's
Especially,
right.
Mr. Reynolds was high in the air on that dunk. I know that.
Man, he definitely got up, and I told him, I was like, what you did and how it came about, you getting your 1,000th point was amazing. So I was definitely happy for him to do that. We got Brandon Storr scored his 1,000th point. We have Connor Spratley scored his 1,000th point. So a lot of guys hitting that 1,000 mark.
So it's a great point that you brought up, and it's a player that you've probably seen a little bit more than me. But a lot of people DM me, a lot of people in my following kind of ask about him. Pooh, how would you break down Spratley's game? How high do you think he could play? Do you think he's a star? Do you think he could end up maybe being like a Jaden Reed, like end up at a mid-major? What are your thoughts on Spratley? I know he's still got some time, but give us a little breakdown of what you think of him.
Connor is a silent assassin. He plays at his own speed. He don't get riled up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a straight killer.
Yeah.
So I see him, he has one more year left.
Absolutely.
People forget about that. It seems like Connor been playing high school ball forever.
Yeah, because he's so experienced. Yeah, you forget about that. Yeah.
He has one more year left, and I think most definitely, I know he could be a Division I prospect. You know,
Yeah.
somewhere in the mid-major lane to where it'll help him grow and develop. But I think, yeah, he's on his way to greatness. You freezing up a little bit over there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm freezing up a little bit?
Just a little bit, just a little bit. But you
Okay,
good
sorry
now.
about
You
that.
good now.
It should be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I think that's I see that for Connor Spratley for sure.
Yeah, because he started getting a little bit of the the low majors over the summer. And I actually agree with you. I think this offseason, from what I've heard, what I've seen, some clips, some film, I actually think this offseason he's gonna slowly become one of the top prospects in 2025. I think he's a top 150 player, Pooh. I really do. I think from this year to next year, as he starts to dominate and assert himself as one of those dudes in the PSAL, I think this offseason he might have one of the biggest of anyone in the PSAL.
Yeah, he was getting some offers from Temple. I know Temple was strongly interested in him.
Yeah.
So somewhere in that line, right? So we got
Yeah.
Kevin Kearney, who just signed to St. Joe's or committed to
Yep.
St. Joe's. I think that's a nice fit for him as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny that you segued to South Shore because I actually wrote an article about four guys who I kind of think are PSAL superstars. I actually put Mr. Reynolds on that breakout list, but the guys I have on my next real superstars are two guys I want to ask you about too. Spratley's teammate Jada Swan, who is fantastic. I think he's going to be the next star, and then my hidden gem, Asher Elson in South Shore is really coming into his own, looking strong. I'm very high on these two, Pooh. Very high.
Well, if you don't know, Jada Swan is at Jefferson.
Yes.
He's at
Him and
Jefferson.
Connor looking sharp.
Jada Swan and Kevin Kearney are the two best shot blockers in the city, right? Jada is doing it at 6'4", and I think Jada kind of edges him out because the other day when I watched them play, they lost to Eagle, but Jada had 21 points and 7 blocks.
Yeah.
And I watched them block the 7-footer at James Monroe as well.
Mm-hmm. It's just that aggression. It's just a different style of shot blocker. And just the way Jada's such a two-way player at such a young age. I just think, he's going to be a star in 2026.
Yeah, I was talking to his dad because his dad was kind of worried that Coach Lawrence had him at the 4, and I was like, he's a stretch 4. He can get the ball off the rebound, bring the ball up. Sometimes he does bring the ball up, right? But they have so many guards that where he can hit the wing, and when the big man who have to guard him, they're in trouble.
In big trouble. He's a matchup nightmare, especially, I wish his dad could take a step back and just look at it because it's almost perfect where he's playing. He's a Swiss Army knife. You move him all around. And, Pooh, you understand, you played at that level. You don't go in as a guard. You know what I mean? You go in as a role that you need to fill when you go to these D1 programs. Everybody's the guy. Everyone wants to be the guy. But it's all about the guy who can step up, fill in the role. Those are the guys who coaches trust and play as freshmen, to be honest.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And, you ask the guy in the NBA, it's like, I don't play a position.
Yeah.
I'm a ball player.
100%. I'm playing my role, man. 3 and D, stepping up off the bench, setting pick and rolls. Role guys get paid a lot of money, right, Pooh?
Oh, man. You have no idea. I wish I was getting one of them checks, right? And the great thing about it, Coach Lawrence doesn't have him stuck on a post, right?
Yeah.
They really don't have that inside presence like they had last year. So you have to really guard those guards and be on point.
Think of how much space they have on that in that offense in the half court, right, Pooh? Jada just allows them to space it out so much. As much as Anthony was incredible last year. Just there's so much more space on that. Connor has a lot more freedom. RJ Walker is playing much better. With the space, it just looks better. And if you're not trusting Coach over there at Thomas Jefferson, who can you trust? Come on.
That's right. That's real. That's real right there. And speaking of that, that dunk from Ashton. I
Oh.
found it right here.
You got it?
Yeah, we
I think he had a
check it
50
out.
ball with that too, Pope.
Yeah. He had a 50 ball that day. He had a 50 ball that day for sure. Hold on for
Yeah,
a
Pooh, we
sec.
got to talk about it. I cannot tell you, the coaches are swarming in my DMs, in the text, asking me about Mr. Reynolds. And there's also been some rumors, which we can't confirm. We just talk about what we hear. There could be a move to 2025. So, a lot of options for Mr. Reynolds, definitely trending up in the recruiting world.
50 points. Let me
Mm.
explain to you. 50 points is hard to get. Mind you, he had more than the other team. But
Yeah.
you know the amount of scoring that takes, the amount of stamina that takes.
Oh,
And on
yeah.
the high school level, if anybody scored 50 points, it's a great accomplishment.
Oh, yeah. And Pooh, Mr. Reynolds is not sneaking up on anybody. He's getting all the coverages. He's getting all the looks. Everybody's looking at him. That 50 was earned, not given. You know that.
That's right. That's right, for sure. So listen, I want to move into that Eagle Jefferson matchup, right? Because
Yes.
that was like opening night madness. Let me explain something to you. New York City made me proud that night. The house was packed.
Love it.
The ring ceremony was awesome.
Perfect.
They upgraded. First of all, they upgraded their security 3 times. Okay. They had the screens
They're
come
too
down
big
from the
now,
ceiling.
Pooh. They're too big. They need it.
They're champions now, right?
That's what I'm saying. They need it. I mean, you got to make sure Ja'Kai Sanders, Eddie Munyak, all those guys are nice and safe out there,
That's right. They had Cha-Ching come down and
Which was
announce.
great to see. I love when they involve the guys from the park in the high school. I think it's great to connect those guys, and they just bring energy, nothing but energy.
That's right. And they got their NBA style rings, man. It was a classy move, classy organization, classy school, classy program.
Great
Salute
program.
the Eagle Academy. For sure.
Now, what did you think of the new look Eagle? A lot of new guys in that rotation, a lot of new pieces. What do you think of the new look Eagles? And they got some guys coming back, but a lot of new pieces in that group.
On paper and on a first glance, they look like the most dominant team in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But then a school like St. Francis Prep has their card.
Oh, yeah.
St. Francis beat them 2 times in the preseason and then blew them out the other day.
I know. I'm
believe
glad
it.
you brought that up. Yeah.
Listen, Coach Jimmy Lynch does such a great job with his adjustments and coaching an undersized St. Francis Prep team that he has, and he gets the most out of his players on every level.
You hit the nail on the head. In the city, nobody gets more out of what he has than Jimmy Lynch. And Coach Lynch is he might text me after this saying, come on, don't be like that, and pile on with the compliments. But Coach Lynch does a fantastic job, like you said. His program's been undersized for years. He goes against the Titans every game. They play their strategy, their type of ball, and you're not going to dictate the style of play to St. Francis Prep. They just won't let you. And with guys stepping up like Tyler Michelle, Nigel Moore, Pooh, who I think is fantastic. I've been telling you about all summer. I like
Nigel him. Moore. Yeah.
Oh man, tough as nails. Tough as nails, and he just represents exactly what the program is. And then you just build it all around the stars with Veer and Big O. I mean, St. Francis Prep's going to be tough to beat this year.
The fact that Big O plays such a huge role as a freshman, and now he's a real veteran sophomore because he saw so much action last year.
And to earn that trust, Pooh, from Jimmy, he doesn't pull up all these freshmen and do it like that. So for him to trust him and throw him in the lineup so early, you knew Big O is just a different type of cat,
Listen, salute to Coach Jimmy Lynch and everything that they're doing. But back to Eagle. Eagle is tough. Eagle is tough. If they can get those kind of matchups straight, I think they would it would propel them further along in the
And
city.
think about how much better Prep is going to make Eagle from those 3 losses,
Yeah,
because they almost see a formula, a pattern that team kind of uses against them. And, they have a great staff over there. Those guys are amazing. Always contact me. Always let me know what's going on. Always answer my questions. Honestly, they're probably one of the best staffs in the PSAL, if I had to say. And I just
definitely,
think it's the
definitely.
thing. They're just going to need some time to gel, because they got the pieces. So.
They definitely got the pieces. They definitely got the pieces. For sure. For sure.
What did you
So
think of
go ahead.
what did you think of what was I gonna say? The guy Mangok Locke on Ego that we've talked about.
Listen, I was just looking for his name. Man Glock. Say his name again, please.
I want to say it's Mangok Locke.
Man
That's the
got
best I
man
could
got
do.
like listen. I was just with Dave from Dave Joint at the Bedford game, and
Shout out Dave's Joint, by the way. That's my
oh
guy.
man, definitely shout out Dave Joint. Shout out Hoop Dreams NYC.
Of
Shout out
course.
Shay's Days, right? Shout out NYC Prospects, and
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out Real Scouts, right?
Oh, those guys.
And also my
Those
guy.
guys make my job so much easier, Pooh. All those guys you just named are fantastic at what they do. Love every single one of them. Love them all.
we can't forget NYC Basketball Live.
Oh yeah, they do a
Right?
great job with videos. That's a great account. A lot of people should follow them in the city, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah, and there's
I
a
know,
bunch we're forgetting for sure. But
I
I'm
know, I
glad
know for sure.
I wanted to pick your mind about Locke because the clips I've seen, the stuff I've been hearing. I mean, this guy's got some great potential.
No, for sure. He came around just the right time when
Yeah.
I popped up on the scene. So salute to him for sure. We got some scores, right? Let's look at some of these scores, right?
Let's
This is the
go.
beginning of the year. This is the beginning of the year. We had Canarsie beating Curtis 71-56, and Sean Johnson was on a tear, right? He poured in
Oh
30
man,
points.
talk
He
about
led
a
the
guy I
Wolfpack.
really didn't know much about. Pooh burst on the scene, man. The clips from that game. That kid's definitely a player for sure.
Definitely. And he followed that up with a 23-point outing, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna move up, but let's talk about the other ones. Iona
Mhm.
Prep destroyed St. Joseph 83-36, and then St. Raymond's, they went out to Texas, right, and romped Lancaster 74-59. And then your guys out in Chaminade, right?
Yeah.
Chaminade, they beat Holy Cross
Yeah, man.
70-59. Tell me
Those
something about
scrappy Flyers, man.
Chaminade.
They always give those city teams a little bit of a shock with the way they shoot and move the ball.
Who are some of the guys that they have on their team that are standouts?
They have it's a little bit of a different squad than what they've usually had. Chaminade's had some great star power over the years. Guy like Michael Connell, who's getting minutes at NC State. TJ Long was there, who hit that incredible 4-point play for Vermont to give them a little bit of to give them a huge highlight moment. But they're led by this guy who's about 6'5", 6'4", Joe Noss. He's been with the program a couple of years. He's a great shooter. Good size. And then honestly, Pooh, they just have an array of guards who are all tough, play hard as hell. The kid Gunther's very good. The kid Dylan's very good. Just a solid group of guys who play the system, work hard, very unselfish. And just Chaminade's one of those programs that, very much St. Francis Prep. They're going to play their style and make you play their type of game.
Yeah, Joe Nosh. I seen him play last year. Man, he got a gunner on him.
He got a great stroke, quick release. He's one of the top guys in Long Island, but a guy kind of flying under the radar, Pooh. So glad you got to see him, appreciate him a little bit.
For sure. And the main guy who we forgot, who is a legend out on the scene, definitely want to give him a super big shout out, and that's Coach Tippy. Right? Coach Tippy's been doing it for a long time. He's out in the sidelines at half court, getting the footage. He's sending a lot of guys to junior college. He's sending kids to college. And those
How great
kids
is
who
that
probably
junior
got
college report he does?
He
What about
does.
that junior college report he does? How great is that? Just seeing
He
the
does an
kids where they
excellent
went,
job.
especially now, Pooh. You know, all these kids taking alternative paths and different routes to get there. You got to stay on it. You know, some people will be like, you know, you're really writing about junior college. Yes, you know, these kids are in junior college because these kids are having COVID years and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen kids go from, you know, junior college straight to a team and start to contribute. I mean, there's a kid from Long Island who's at Texas Corpus Christi, Dion Ray Ford, who was
Mm.
a heck of a player. Finally, he's getting his chance and is doing his thing at the D1 level. You know, so it's all about the journey. And Coach Tip is a huge part to help those kids for sure.
That's right. We're gonna blow a big whistle for Coach Tippy right now. We love you, Coach Tip. Keep doing your thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Now, Lincoln opened up their season at Zavarian,
Yeah.
and Zavarian beat them at the buzzer.
Something
Zavarian
about the
has a
Lincoln
young
Rail
team.
Splitters and that buzzer, Pooh. Something about them and that buzzer, man.
We're gonna get to that very soon. We're gonna get to that very soon. Coach Matos has definitely got them refocused and realign. So big up to Zavarian for getting that win. I'm definitely have to go out and check them out very soon.
Yeah, you definitely got to check out. They got some tough guards. You know, losing Naz Muhammad's a huge loss. Obviously,
Yeah.
some other good seniors they lost to, but they're going to be scrappy. They got some tough guards that I like, and we didn't even talk about Rays yet. We just casually mentioned it. Those
Oh, we're gonna
Ravens are
get
on
there.
a tear, my man.
We're gonna get there. We're definitely gonna get there. That's and let's get back a second because I wanted to start off talking about my top 10 list.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you guys put out your top 10 list, which I thought was awesome. And it got everybody excited. It got everybody excited, got everybody talking. And then NYC dropped their top 10 list. And what I like about NYC Prospect, I mean, is that they spread it out through the divisions. Whereas you and I, well, your company and what I do over here, we kind of incorporate everybody, right?
Yeah.
Those who we feel are the true top 10 teams in the city. And one thing I never got to ask you is, why didn't y'all include Stepanak?
Well, the thing with our list, which is basically kind of the guy who kind of runs the NYC New York City top 10 list is our Maurice Wingate. Shout out Maurice Wingate,
Salute to him.
man.
Salute to him. Yeah.
Absolutely the best. He kind of takes a collection of a lot of people's lists and a lot of coaching info and kind of puts that out. But what he considers, he kind of does three lists. Pooh. He does a Long Island top 10, a Westchester upstate kind of thing, and then he does a straight New York City, just city. So he throws Stepanak in the upstate Westchester list, and he throws Iona in there too.
But they play in the they play in the
I
Catholic
know,
School League in the
I
city.
know.
So that was my thing. That's why I had to
Boom,
like.
every year I get that list, I say, "Where the heck is Stepanak?" And I get it every year. Well, they're number one on the other list. I said, "All right,
Right. I got that. I get that. So definitely, we definitely agreed on a Christ the King. Y'all had him number one. I had him number two, and then St. Ray's number three. Where did y'all have St. Ray's in y'all list?
Not number three. Not number three, Pooh.
I knew what they see. I knew what they had coming back, right?
Yeah.
I knew what they had coming back, and people don't realize that Coach Lopez, he doesn't play his stars in preseason.
Oh yeah.
He's building his bench. He's building his bench to make sure they're ready to go with the stars.
Yeah.
You already know what he has with Brandon Stores and Taj Turnage, right?
Plus, they're playing in these showcases. You know, Pooh, it's great. You know, instead of saying, "Hey, we're not going to play because we're missing a starter," which so many programs do in these offseason stuff or anything. We don't want to look bad. Coach Lopez could care less. He'll take the 5 guys that he's going to develop. He'll get them ready, and he don't care if they're freshmen, all freshmen, or whatever. You know.
Facts. No, that's all true. All right, and then I have St. Francis Prep, which we talked about. We talked about Eagle Academy Bronx. right? We're going to
Yep.
get into Nazareth in a few minutes, and we're going to
Oof.
tap into more of St. Ray's
And I
and
gotta
what
tell you,
Brandon Store's been doing. He's been
Pooh,
doing.
we got killed. We got killed for not having Nazareth on that list. Woo! I was getting, and it's funny when I was giving Maurice my teams, I said we really should consider Nazareth up there, and I guess a lot of other lists didn't have them, but I was shocked to not see them on the top 10. That's a team on the rise and a scary team. You know.
The great thing, hold up. The great thing about basketball heads is that I got the Brevoort Basketball League, right? And a
Yep.
lot of these teams playing my tournament, and Nazareth won the championship in the high school
Yeah.
division, right?
Hmm.
So I knew they had all of their whole team coming back.
Yeah.
They went to the city championship last year, right? They got upset, but I
Yeah.
know they was on a mission, and Coach Gary Irvin, he stepped it up a level. He didn't just want to settle and stay in the A division. He
Yeah.
said, you know what? To be the best, you got to play against the best.
Absolutely. And he's not afraid of anybody. So
No,
Perch will take
Halon
on anyone.
Rollins had a great summer. He was MVP in the New York versus New York. He had something to build
Now
on.
talk to me about him, Pooh, a little bit. I've only seen him, I want to say twice. And both times I've liked a lot what I've saw. But there's been some people who are close to me that are saying he's way higher than I even think. So what's your opinion on him? I know he's a bit of a tweener. He's still got some time. I love the small ball lineup they throw him in. I mean, they use him all over. What are your thoughts on him?
He's a dog. He's definitely a dog. He's someone who he was a raw athlete, right? He
Yeah.
was playing inside when he first got there.
He come a
then
long way.
He started to step it up. He started shooting that long three. He's getting his ball handling together. So he's someone that could take it a full length of the court. But I think as far as being a dominant at the guard position, he's still developing that. And I think Coach Irvin gives him the freedom to do those things and explore those options. So I think he's definitely one of the top guys in the city for sure.
Now, do you think at the next level he'll be more on the wing, or do you think that he could almost develop enough as a guard to kind of be a 2, maybe a little bit of a 3? What do you think of the next level?
I think he has a chance to go into the guard position. Right now, I would see him at the 3 position. But over time, I think if he keeps working on his handle and developing that and keep that stroke, man, sky's the limit for him for sure.
Yeah, he had some tough highlights. I mean, that 3 he hit with what's his name in his face. I mean, that was big time. Big time.
Man. Let's look at that right now. And we're gonna come back to that top 10. That what hold on, here we go right here. Him and they have another guy on their team too that's very, very good as well, right?
Who are you talking about?
Achilles. There's Mangle.
Well, they have a couple guys. I like Roman too. I mean, they got some pieces.
They got at least 5-6 guys that can really give it to you on any given night.
Yeah, Achilles was fantastic down the stretch. I mean, if he plays like that, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Yes. Very, very good. He's a dog. He's the one who came and gave them that punch early on to help them win that game against Hayes, because Hayes came back because you have the killer, I would say, top 3 guards in the city, and Adam Nenjai, who's just unstoppable.
I've probably been saying it for 3 years. I think he's going to lead a Division I mid-major, high-major conference in assists. I mean, one of the best creators, ball handlers I've seen. I mean, he reminds me of like an old school guy with that handle. I mean, you could throw him out in any park and that kid could go get a bucket. I mean, I think Washington State is kicking themselves for letting this kid get away. And, he's been a little quiet. He's very quiet with his recruitment. But you said it best. NJ is a superstar. Easily a top 3 guy in the league. And, if Hayes gets right, he might win. So he might get some MVP votes. I mean, he's that dynamic of a player.
Now, again, you're gonna have to win games to do that, right?
Absolutely.
And I think they just lacking the help. They don't have any sides. They have a lot of guards, and I think that's gonna hurt them in the long
Yeah.
run,
Yeah.
right? And now you're not really getting a scoring punch from anywhere else. You know, they have some pieces that may get you like 10 or 12. You know,
Yeah.
you have Mel Thomas. He injured his ankle during the Nazareth game, so he kind of slowed down a little bit, right? And you have
How did the kid Caitlin Destin play when you got to see him?
I forgot about him. He came on late. He came on late in the second half. He was a little frustrated in the first half, but he
Yeah.
came out on the second half and the shot was falling. I think if they could get some scoring power between Kalen and Mel, they
Yep.
can spread the court out and make those big guys have a difficult time guarding them and get a lot of those guys in foul trouble.
Well, that's what, Coach Loads is going to have to kind of make his adjustments throughout the year. And, another terrific coach who, always does great stuff with his guys, a lot of great plays. He's going to have to tinker with his team. He's a different type of style, all guards. Last year he had size. He could move guys all around. This year he's guard heavy. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust throughout the season because I would never give up on Hayes, too much talent.
Got you. Definitely. Let's move to we talked about Thomas Jefferson, right?
Mhm.
Let's talk about South Shore. My guy Coach Smoke is over there doing a great job. They actually have the biggest team in the city besides
Oh.
Stepinac.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
tell
That
me
roster
some of
is
the things
loaded.
that you like about South Shore.
It's funny. What do I like about him, Pooh? I love everything about that team. I think the coaching staff's terrific. I think the style that they do is great. I love Kearney. I think he has NBA potential. I think Asher's the next star of
Hold
the
on,
PSAL.
hold on. Let's back up. Let's back up real quick.
Go ahead.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, and Pooh, like we talked about the first time I was on the show, it's not something I say lightly. I don't throw it around. I don't do it for clicks. I
Right.
don't. There's probably 5 guys that I've said have NBA potential in my lifetime of reporting, and I just think Kevin Kearney with the size, the shooting ability, the shot blocking, like you said, this man has NBA potential, in my opinion.
Kevin Kearney, definitely.
Showtime
One,
Kev, shout out Showtime Kev. Love
listen,
Kev.
I think once Cav realized his true potential and
Yeah,
plays at 120% on every play,
yeah,
right? I think right now he's in cruise control.
yeah.
And I think once he turns it on and keeps it going, man, the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, his
Because
ceiling is just different too than almost everyone I've really evaluated. Just like you said, like we always talk about the different positions and stuff, and a big guy who kind of teaches me a lot of stuff is Rashad Phillips. I'm sure you've known about him through your basketball time. He was at Detroit,
yeah,
big time
yeah.
scout, all this stuff. He talks about a position called hybrid guard, and it's being the most dynamic person on the floor and the most dangerous person with the ball in their hands. And it just instantly makes me think of Kevin Kearney. I mean, a guy who could just, take over a game in multiple aspects of the, of possessions, defensively, offensively. Just the way he could play 2 ways, I just see a huge ceiling. And also, I got to shout out Jago Robinson, who I think is probably the most underrated point guard or guard in the PSAL. I think he's a stud.
Yeah,
Love Robinson.
he's very, very tough. And
Yeah.
the actual point guard, we have Sincere Falk, who
Yes.
stepped into that position,
Oh.
transferred from Malloy.
What do you think
Man.
of Brewer, Pooh? Brewers went there and been fantastic.
Yes. He's a dog, right? Now,
That 3-headed monster is unbelievable, is it not, Pooh? I mean, they're like 6'8", 6'9", and
I wish,
Seven-
and I said Kev, if Kev had Brewer's dog, right?
Yeah.
If he had his dog, right?
yeah,
Because sometimes I think Kev, he don't realize how good he is.
yeah.
Kev can actually be one of the leading scorers in the whole city.
Well,
if he
he's
puts his
such a
mind
nice
to it.
kid, Pooh, and he's been around so many other talented guys And he's been productive. He's great, but you could tell he got a little comfortable not being the dude. Now you're the dude, Kev. You got to go, man. There's no time to clown around. Everyone's looking at you. You're the example setter. You're the guy. So I think he's gonna continually impress throughout the year, and like you said, hit that next step and take the Vikings as far as he can.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the key to Kev coming into a zone is Coach Smoke.
hmm
Coach Smoke rebuilt his confidence.
I was
Coach
gonna say
Smoke,
confidence, trust,
man,
confidence.
let me tell you, you are nothing on the basketball court without your confidence.
No,
Coach Smoke has told him that he is him,
yeah,
right? And you know, Kev came from a program where he wasn't used to, practicing and doing the thing that they
yeah,
do at South Shore. South Shore is a high level program. And once he got conditioned to that, we're seeing the player that we see now that just signed to St. Joe's.
yeah,
Salute to Coach
absolutely.
Smoke.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to shout out Coach Smoke. Like I said, they have one of the best staffs. They develop like crazy. They get all their guys to the next level. They definitely set those guys up for success. So South Shore is definitely going to be tough. I know I didn't have them in that preseason championship, but they'll be right there.
That's right. That's right. What about James Monroe?
Oof. See, that's a team that has, man, did they have the potential or what, Pooh? I mean, I in that article that I told you about, the PSAL superstars, Jada was one, Asher was another, and another one I threw in was the big man. I mean, Big Harv is unbelievable. I think another guy, sky's the limit. Guard skills at that size is unbelievable. I mean, is the consistency there? No. But the flashes you see, the talent, the skill, the potential is all there. And I like some of their other pieces too, Pooh. What do you think?
I think you hit it right in the head, man. I just think they just came into this year being a little bit inconsistent.
That's it.
And I think them right when I look at them and Brooklyn Collegiate, those
Yeah,
two teams are very, very good programs that I
absolutely.
think once they hit their stride and get over that hump, they'll be turning out players like the Jeffersons and the Lincolns and the
No
South
doubt. I
Shores
think those two
and be able
programs,
to
like you
win the
said,
championships.
oh, if they win a championship, I mean those programs are absolutely going to take off, like you said. And even though they are that kind of that next tier, I would say they have
Right.
a ton of college kids on those teams. I mean, Brooklyn Collegiate's got 5, 6 guys who could play D1 hoops. I think.
And the grade point averages,
Yeah,
which is
all
key, which
terrific.
we don't really talk about too much.
Yeah.
These guys are student athletes.
Well, that's not the sexy stuff, Pooh. But to be honest, one of my first messages to any kid that I write about is, "What are your grades at?" Because I've been burnt too many times. I've gone to the woodshed for kids helping with grades. I mean, I was a teacher, I was a coach. I've been in the meetings where a kid's got 55, and you're just like, "What are you doing?" You know. But you got to take care of those grades, man. It closes so many doors for you if you don't take care of what you got to do. You know.
Nah, that's so true. And we had that discussion when I had you on the show last time, and you said, "Listen, if the kids don't have the grades, I'm not going to rank them high."
I can't. I can't, and especially coaches will reach out and they want all the stuff. And I just say, listen, I love the kid. I think he's great, but, it's not going to be worth the investment if he's not making the investment, you know? And it sucks because a lot of kids don't really get that till it's too late. But, it's something that they just got to figure out. It sucks.
So let's go to my alma mater,
Let's
Abraham
go.
Lincoln High School.
Yeah, baby.
They opened up against Canarsie. Canarsie came in as the favorite. Salute to Coach Jake and Coach Jake Edwards and all the great things you do at your program. I think you do an awesome job. Your staff is awesome. But this day, I think Lincoln was prepared.
Yeah.
Sean Johnson came in, scoring 30 points and 23 back-to-back. PJ Singleton has been off, right? He hasn't been his usual self. He's getting his shots, but they just not drop it for some reason or another. And it happens in basketball. He may find his stride later on.
And it may be very beneficial for Canarsie too that he's getting hot at the right time. You know that.
Definitely, definitely. It's always good to get hot at the right time, right? Because now, where everybody's focused on Sean, they're gonna have to stop PJ, and it's hard to block that jump shot.
It's almost so beneficial to the team that PJ has kind of struggled a little bit, especially being a new guy, because he gets to see there are other guys here. There are guys who have been here, and there are guys that I can rely on. So once PJ gets going, they're going to be tough because, like you said, first couple of games they're really developing their older guards.
That's right,
and they're playing well.
Nah, that's very real, man. But let me tell you, this was crazy because Lincoln came out flat, right? And Canarsie took an early 14-7 lead. But things changed quickly as the Rail Splitters came back and ended the first quarter 18-16.
Ooh.
Junior guard Makai Cadet, he did an awesome job defending Sean Johnson, who they held to 13 points.
Which is impressive.
Very impressive. Very, very impressive. That showed that, they have some defensive-minded guys on that team.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, they subbed in Christian Marbury. He sat for 2 whole quarters. This kid didn't complain. He was cheering for his teammates. I watched him because I wanted to see his reaction. I wanted to see his body language. I wanted to see if he's really cut from that Marbury cloth. This kid cheered for his teammates. And when he got his time, when his number was called, he came in, popped a key 3. And you know that Coney Island crowd went bananas. Oh, man. Then he went to the other side and popped another 3. And that what really gave Lincoln the momentum to propel them to win. Right? And then they have the guard, Monte Mamaritkishvili. I'm killing his name.
That was actually not bad, Pooh. Probably better than me.
I tried to enunciate it the best I could.
Yeah.
He wasn't his usual himself because that kid can stroke the 3.
Yeah.
He still was the leading scorer because Johnny Solomon was off, but Johnny was playing very good defense. I tell you, Lincoln has a very defensive-minded crew. And Monte hit that shot to seal a game, and it was a beautiful thing to watch.
Great environment, right? Great environment.
I miss home. I felt right at home. And, listen, I was unprofessional for a moment because I caught myself cheering for the team. I'm going to blow a tech on myself.
Ooh, no one's going to blame you for that, man. No.
It's hard. It's hard, brother. It's hard.
Listen, you're allowed to cheer a little bit for those Rail Splitters, man. All right? You're allowed, man.
Man, that was big. That was big right there.
Well, listen, just Pooh, just explain to like a lot of the kids or any people that are watching, this show, how like especially with like young players, for what the Marbury kid did to sit for 2 quarters, to have that mentality of I'm gonna cheer on my teammates. If a kid like Marbury can do that, at home. Everyone wanted him to come in. If he could sit back and cheer on his teammates and be ready for his moment, what is your excuse? Because I can't tell you how many kids I check off my list and give a nice big X when they check out. The body language, the sulking on the bench, the hands over the face, the looking at the parents. Why am I not in? I just want to walk over and say, what's the score? Because you don't even know, and you're on the bench. So for a guy to be locked in, that's why that kid's going to be successful. That mentality right there. And I mean, if Lincoln's going to get effort from him like that, I mean, Lincoln could be legit.
They have a future star to build around.
That's
Listen,
it.
his
And he's got the
dad,
right mindset, Pooh. If your leader has the best mindset on the team and is listening, you guys are going to be successful.
his dad, Norman Marbury, was there. His
Was
mom
the
was
whole
at the
Marbury
game.
family there? Or
His
no?
mom was there, right?
Yes.
His cousin, Jamel Thomas, another Lincoln great, was there, right?
Yeah.
He had the whole family section there, then all of his friends in the stands. And you know that feeling.
That's
You know
awesome.
what that looks like from a kid who has all the eyes looking on him, and everybody's wondering why he's not in the game.
Why he's not in the game? Yep.
And then when Coach Montos called his number, which she did a great job with her adjustments during that game and brought him in at the right time. And hold on, let's go back. She was going to bring him in at the end of the second quarter, but the time was running too fast, so she brought him
Yeah.
back. So just imagine you at the scores table,
And now you're getting called back.
and now you get
Right?
called back. You know what that kid is thinking.
Oh my God.
Being
Yeah.
selfish. Not this kid.
Especially
this
being
kid.
young. You know,
Yep.
myself, I would have said, man, I'm not getting in this game, you know? But you got to have that mentality. And then, Pooh, obviously, we have absolutely crushed the PSAL. We've crushed a lot of the CHSA. But I got to get us on. We got to talk about Mr. Stores tonight, Pooh.
Man,
We got to talk
listen.
about the man on a mission who's just he's coming for MVP. That's what I told Coach. That man looks like MVP.
Listen, I told Coach Lopez and the whole staff, hey, what's up? What's up? Eric Kennedy in the building. I told the whole coaching staff, Brandon Stores reminds me of Bernard King with a jump shot.
Woo! Now that's a comparison.
And now I want to see if he developed his handle, right? Because I
Yeah.
haven't seen him play this year, but
Yeah.
I know what kind of player he is. He had 37 against Hayes and 15 rebounds.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
And that's when he eclipsed his 1,000 point. Then he came back against Scaling and lit them up for 31 points
Oh
and
yeah.
beat them 97-85.
And it's just a pounding, Pooh. It's not flashy. It's not.
Not at all.
It's not all these highlights. It's grinding you down. Efficient baskets, taking up shot clock, taking on two defenders. This guy from the free throw line down is just unstoppable with his moves, man. He's a matchup problem. He's a nightmare.
He is. He is. He is one. Hold on, let me do this real quick before.
No worries. And Pooh, I mean, I'm loving the guards around him. I mean, everybody loves Ty. You know, Ty's fantastic. Kamari
Right.
White is stepping up. I mean, their pieces are really coming together. They're going to be, you know, a lot of people have been wondering who's going to be that third team. St. Francis Prep, Naz. I mean, hey, you have Rays as 3. They might be 3. I mean, they're right there. They're going to be tough.
They have a freshman I heard is one of the best freshmen in the whole city, which I
Well, they're
ain't get
getting
to
them
see
tons of
play.
experience too. Anderson
Yes.
Diaz, you're talking about? He's
Yep.
fantastic.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Mhm.
I'm glad you brought that up, brother. Hold
Oh,
on.
you know what I also want to ask you about?
Uh-huh.
Who I keep hearing is the next up, and I'm dying to hear your opinion. What do you think of my man Amir Dockery? That kid
Amir-
looks like a problem, man.
Amir Dockery from Eagle Academy. He played his heart out
Is he not fearless?
against Jefferson. Yes.
Oh,
And the fact that, Kevin Hamilton trusts a freshman to lead that veteran team,
to crack that lineup, Pooh, how serious you got to be? Come on.
you got to tip your hat off to Amir Dockery. He's a serious baller.
Oh yeah, big fan of that kid. Him and Diaz definitely some guys to know in 2027. Absolutely.
Definitely for sure. And look, I was watching this the other day, and I had to repost it because, I know we're giving the guys a lot of light, but the Queen of New York City. Check this out. she's just amazing. Ariel Little. She
Oh,
gets the ball. She runs to the three-pointer, tells the people in the stands, this for y'all. Shoots it, knocks it down.
too cold, man.
How
Absolutely
amazing
cold
is
blooded.
that? She's going to St. John's.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about an exciting player for that program.
Man, this is crazy, man. I'm so looking forward to the season. I definitely have to get out to Luha and see them play. You know, check out a game with you. And if you ever in the city, I would like to invite you out. You know, to one of these games so you can see.
Absolutely. I want to
I
be in
may go out
Lincoln
to
with
Campus
the
Magnet. I may go
yeah.
out to Campus Magnet tomorrow, but I'm going to look at the schedule and see. Right, but
Yeah,
you
we'll
want
definitely
to
get
come
some
to a Lincoln
PSA.
game? You
I
want to
want to
come
be
to
on
a
the
Lincoln
sidelines
game?
in the heat with you. What's that?
Yeah, you want to come to a Lincoln game? We can make that happen.
Let's go, baby. I definitely got to come to a Lincoln game for sure.
Listen, Coach Montos, I think she maybe won 4 games, 5 games in like 2 years. I don't want
Yes.
to say she didn't win that many games in the last 2 years. They struggled, but she stayed in there. She kept recruiting good kids, and I think they have a combination of 85 average the whole team.
Oh, it's great.
So
That's
she's
great.
building student athletes first. Student athletes is the foundation to the program,
That's
right?
fantastic.
And
And
then you bring the stars
and,
in.
and you can never bet against Lincoln, like we said for a couple other teams. You know, you can keep them down for a little bit, but that history, you get the right kids in, they got the right leader in there. You know, Lincoln's definitely on the way up, which is good to see.
And we want to just, you know, wrap this up saying this. Abraham Lincoln won in overtime last night against Susan Wagner 75-74. Okay. Orleans, Paul Rice, 3-point shot with 7 seconds remaining, put Lincoln over the top in overtime against Wagner 75-74. Abraham Lincoln Sr., Johnny Solomon, found his scoring, scored 7 points in the first quarter of his 28 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. While again, freshman Christian Marbury, 8 points. He hit a 3-point shot to end the half, but it was senior Orleans AP Porras, 11 points, hit the biggest shot of the night with a 3-pointer to win the game. Let's check that out. We didn't know how it was going to go, but man.
Big time, baby.
You hear that crowd? We're going to look at it again.
Big time. You love to see it. Gotta love that.
I want to see who gave me an assist. Oh, it was a Johnny Solomon.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna say it looked like you got to get and that's a team, like you said, with like 6 wins over the last 2 years. How great is that? You wouldn't even know.
I hit up Coach Robert Williams and I texted him. I said, if Lincoln boxes out because they're undersized,
Yeah.
but they're a very strong team. If they use their strength to box out, and a Johnny Solomon trusts his team a little bit more,
Yeah.
and he did that at the end of the game because he penetrated, everybody collapsed on him, and he pitched it out to AP, who hit the big 3.
Very unselfish play.
You can't ask for anything better, man. So
No way.
I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. We are about to get out of here. I don't want to keep you too long. I know it's a Friday. I meant to order some dinner, so I guess it's straight watermelon for me tonight. My favorite fruit. Listen, I did a watermelon fast.
Yeah.
From August to November. Just watermelon and
Really?
salad. Watermelon and salad, right?
How much you drop?
Oh man. I think now it's a steady, right? So I was
Yeah.
once a couple of years ago, I was once 294.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna bring some jeans. I have a pair of jeans in my closet that I keep as a reminder size
love that.
46. And I just knew I had to do something for me. I don't knock
Yeah.
anybody for what they do.
Yeah.
And it's been good for me because it allowed me to move around the way I move around in the city, get
Yeah.
to the games that I need to get to. I couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
And I suffered from a college injury. I had a torn meniscus in college that still had bothered me. It would be
Yep.
inflamed. And I knew I had to drop the pounds so I could move around because I don't drive, brother. I'm like Tom Kachowski. I'm on mass transit, baby. So never whistle, I'm going to blow myself.
That was amazing.
So when I'm coming out to you, I'll be jumping on the Long Island Railroad, baby.
We want you, Pooh. We'll take you anytime, man. I definitely got to get you to the Lehigh game. And we got to chop it up about those Crusaders because, Pooh, they might be the #1 team in the country, baby.
Yeah, the way it's looking, man. They smacked on Oak Hill real bad.
Just imagine Kiyan Anthony off the bench. That's all I got to say.
I want to see how they fare against Mount Verde. That's what I want to see.
Coach Buck tells me they're ready, man. They're ready. They've been
That's what I
circling
wanna
that
see.
game. They're ready.
Yeah, and I know there's one more thing I wanted to talk about before we get out of here. I wanted to read off some scores from yesterday. Definitely big shout out to Cardozo star Jordan Walker, who had 22 points and dished out 8 assists. He sank 2 free throws with 3 seconds left on the clock to sneak past John Bow, 60-59. Thurgood Marshall Academy throws the gavel at Adelaide Stevenson, 54-52. And Murray Burcham continues 6-0 to roll over Bayard Rustin, 104-67. And salute to my guy Rob Phelps, who I have to call back right now. They just took a huge loss to Transit Tech, 70-80. So I'm gonna call him and chop it up with him, and we about to get out of here. Hey, Coach, I appreciate you. Let's do this every Friday. How does that sound? Is that cool?
Coach, I'm in, man. Whatever you need me, Pooh, I got you. Anytime you need me.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate it. I love your vibe, and we connect very well.
Absolutely.
I want to say have a blessed weekend, man, and I'll definitely holler at you.
You too, my man. Stay safe. Enjoy some games, all right? We'll talk soon.
Definitely.
All right.
Peace, my brother.
You good, my man?
All right. That's it, folks. That is the new basketball weekend review, which should have been on the bottom of the screen the whole time, but I forgot to put it there. So now you see it. The new high school basketball review is how we're going to be doing it every Friday, me and Coach Reinhardt. Well, I'm about to get out of here. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the high school basketball weekly review on NYC Basketball History. We about to get out of here. Peace.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. 30-30. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.